Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Captain Video Presents, and today we're coming to you from my bathroom. Now, don't get the wrong impression. What we're going to do is find out if a regular guy with just a handful of tools can remove an old sink and install a brand new one. And as you probably don't actually know, we just moved into a new house, and this is the bathroom, and this is the Kurami sink that came with it. There is the plumbing that we have to remove. We're going to try and remove this sink, and we're going to install this new cabinet and this new faucet. Wish me luck. Okay, let's get into the cabinet. So we'll have to disconnect the drain, and I'll just disconnect those hoses right there, and the sink should hopefully pop right out. But remember, I'm just a regular guy, not a plumber, so let's see how it goes next. Just remember to let all the water run out of the pipe before you start anything. We have our plumber's wrench, and if we're lucky, it's big enough to get around here, and lefty-loosey, remember that. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. And step one, pretty easy. Just remove. And that part's gonna come out. There's a lot of gunk and yuck in there, that's for sure. I'm going to leave that for now because it is possible that I can just yank this out and put the new tap right straight into there. So we'll see about that. And once again, these super absorbent chamois come in handy to catch any of the drips. If you check one of my earlier videos, you will see me demonstrating and selling these in a life that has long since ended. I've had a number of different lives, and you might get to know some of them over the course of these videos. One. Now this time we are prepared with a big bowl for any water that comes out, and take it off. We're done. No water's coming out. Some water's coming out of the inlet valve. Okay, next step is to loosen this so the sink can come out. Yeah, you can tell this is old and rusty. I'm surprised I don't have a lockjaw from the water. So now the next step is get these screws out that are holding the sink in place. And I'm gonna bet these ones really are lefty-loosey. And number two. I'm sure halfway through the job you're thinking, maybe I should have just got a plumber. Okay, let's see if we got it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you remove an old sink. And I wish I could just throw it out a window and let it crash to the ground like they do in the movies, but that's not going to happen. I'm going to remove these because I will need them. The new tap, I do not believe, comes with these. Okay, so I've got all the screws out, and now it's just a matter of... That was easier than I thought. This part is actually screwed directly into the wall with screws that are sort of embedded deep inside, so it may be difficult to get to them, but I'm going to remove this first. Well, I had to break out the power tools to get this wall how you get well, it's a good thing I wasn't thinking of selling this. Look, a souvenir from the old homeowner, a nice comb for which I have no use. So as you can see, we have the water pipes on the back wall, and we have the drain pipe on the side wall. A little bit unusual. So what I have to do is cut a corresponding hole right in the space between the drawers. Luckily, there is the exact right amount of space, and maybe they, they know that people have pipes in that particular area. There is no reason to have that space there, so I'm assuming that is for drilling a hole for the pipe, and I can do that. Well, it wasn't easy, but I've got the old sink out of the space, and now I have to allow for the fact that the cabinet does not have a hole. Well, let me show you. So there's the pipe, and I have to drill the hole in the cabinet. So the center of the pipe is 15.5 inches, 8 1/4 inches from the wall. The center of the pipe is about 8 3/8, which is about there. Down this is the blind side, the hidden side of the cabinet, so it doesn't matter if I make a little line. 15 and a half. I've got a little bit of a situation here. So the problem is these pipes stick out to a point where I cannot get them past that wall onto that pipe. So I'm going to have to use my jigsaw and expand the hole that way so that I can easily maneuver it without having to do anything to those pipes. It's a very non-standard setup as far as I can tell. So now I can slide this forward, get the pipe on, and after a lot of lots of bother, it's in place. As I suspected, space between the drawers was just enough to allow the pipe to go through. I have to drill a hole for the pipe to come through, and I actually have to get a slightly longer pipe. This was not as easy and straightforward a job as I thought it would be, but I'm not giving up. I'm not calling a plumber. We're going to get this done, and hopefully you can avoid all the pitfalls that I did. And I now have to drain my head and call it a night. I think these people look really happy with their sink. I'm not sure I'm feeling it right yet. Well, it's the next morning, and I've had coffee, I've had breakfast. My mind is a little less addled than it normally is. So the next phase of this operation, which has honestly not gone simply, I'll admit that, but I have decided there's no way I'm giving up and calling a plumber. I'm just going to power through this. We're going to do it, and we've made a lot of progress when the possibilities of success seemed insurmountable. So the pipe has to go through this wall into the pipe coming out of the wall, and I've marked the top of that little line is the center point, hopefully, of where the pipe will go through. So first of all, instead of coming out of the back wall, the drain pipe is coming out of the side wall. Water inlet is coming out the back where, most water inlets should come out. And in order to have this centered on the drain, it's taken a lot of maneuvering, a lot of cutting, and we're going to do a test fit, and then we're going to glue. So we have our collar, like that, and then this is the pipe that will bridge the gap. This is in between the drawers, luckily, as we learned earlier. So there we've got that. That's a good fit. Next we have the trap, And that goes there, through there. Then we have a piece from the old fittings, because it has a piece that I did not remember to buy. And I did have an extra collar, so that goes there. That goes there. That goes in there. Turns. I like that, a little ball. That makes it so much easier. The knee bone's connected to the thigh bone. And there we go. That's that. And okay, here comes the sink. Well, let's look and make sure we have all the parts. Okay, faucet. Check. Some sort of rubber ringy thing. Check. The cover for the 2 extra holes. A thing. I'm not sure what this is. I've got one of these. And I've got that. And of course you have that. Now, it's all about getting down under. Okay, so we are now in step 3B, bump, face up. Bumps are face up. Those are the bumps, and they're face up. This as well, and now I have to get in there and attach that to the metal rod that's coming out. That's going to be fun. I don't know if you'll be able to even see that, but what the heck, I have to do it. Whether you can see it or not. Okay. The thing is on. I honestly don't know how you're supposed to get in there with a wrench to tighten this. I would say virtually impossible. And welcome to day 37. I snoozed in there. I got the faucet as tight as I could get it. There's not a lot of room up there. Next step, and we're getting close to putting in the drain, but which was this thing was just the worst part of the whole job because I had a million holes to cut and I had no idea what I was doing. But somehow I'm almost ready to get to that portion of it, and let's connect the water. I probably have to get back underneath. I got my plumber's helper and a pillow. So okay, now no laughing. The left one is the hot water. I've had to do this a couple times already because I didn't have any end caps and I had to turn the water on at night while I was waiting for Home Depot to call me with my curbside pickup order. You may not be getting any entertainment value out of this, but I am. Plumbers earn their money, and I'm earning nothing for this. Okay, we have the drain with its rubber gasket, and we have the part that will, from the bottom, tighten up the drain to the, wow, you can see me upside down, that's so cool. And it'll tighten up the drain to the sink, like that. Then we have to get it into the actual drain pipe. Okay, we're in the home stretch. this goes on here, and we'll tighten the drain when it goes in there. So, and this goes, oops, I've messed it up. It doesn't fit. Don't worry, we'll just adjust it. I've had to make slight adjustments, and it's like a quarter of a centimeter, which is 4 millimeters, 2.5 millimeters. Washer goes on, that goes on, and hopefully we made a tight seal. So from having to make a super duper large, dumb looking hole to get the sink over the pipe that was sticking out, create another hole for the pipe to go through, arrange it ever just so the pipe came down from the drain properly, because the drain didn't come out from where it's supposed to on the back wall. So this obviously took me a lot longer than I was expecting, but it is done. Then all I have to do is turn on the water. Before running the water, the instructions say to take out the little aerator thing with this weird tool and then run the water. So I'm going to do that because it says to do that. So there's the aerator. And we let it run for 30 seconds. I'm going to test the push-in plug. You got hot water. Oh yeah, hot water's good. Cold water's good. The sink is holding all that water in. It's not leaking under. Ooh! Oh, my fault. Something was leaking underneath, and it was the trap drain that wasn't closed tightly. Turning on the water after a self-install of a difficult plumbing project in 3, 2, 1. It works! Final step is to caulk around the edges. I use a damp finger to smooth it out, and then a cloth to wipe off the walls. So there it is. A plumbing job as if designed by Rube Goldberg, his own self. I had ended up putting a little bit of extra silicone on the pipes to prevent any further leaks, just so I could turn on the water. That was tiring, but it's done. The sink is installed, it doesn't drip, it doesn't leak, and everything's tight and it doesn't squeak. So, thank you for joining me. Now, if you want to go ahead and install your own sink, just remember, I did it, and I have no idea what I was doing. So you can do it too. Just take my advice and look before you leap. Install the faucet before you put the sink on the base, and then you don't have to crawl under it. Obviously, if you're just installing a new faucet, you're gonna have to crawl under it, but maybe take the sink off the base, install the faucet, and then put it back. That is something you can do. Well, join me in the next video. I'll be doing some stuff in the kitchen next time. I am going to install a new faucet in the kitchen, and actually I'm going to renovate the entire kitchen in the future videos. So join me, will you or won't you? It's up to you. Anyway, you'll see me in the next video if you do join me. And just don't join me in the bathroom. That would be weird. I gotta go. I mean, I have to leave. I don't have to go. But you understand. Sorry about that. I'll edit that out.